All right, welcome to the Sports Guys. Another episode. We got a great one for you tonight. We are going to do a part two of a episode we brought you about 2 months ago, which is on target sports. And these are essentially sports that have a target, have something to shoot at. You're trying to do precision, you're trying to do power, you're trying to get something close to something. Ever since the beginning of man, we've been trying to put together games where there's some kind of target or some kind of objective that we're shooting for. So tonight we're going to go through part two and bring you some new sports with targets. So how you doing, Robbie?
Doing great. Having a good week. Going to the beach tomorrow. Football starts in a little over an hour for the year, so we've made it, and I am excited. It's going well. Things are good.
Doesn't get much better than that. One of the reasons we wanted to record this episode tonight was so we can get it in before the football game. So
Yeah,
just
that's right.
to be brutally honest, but we did want to bring this to you tonight because we have uncovered some really cool target sports. Some of them you're going to have heard of, and some of them you're not going to have heard of, and they're completely different than anything I had heard of. When I started doing the research, I discovered some of these really fun games. So we're going to get into all those. But Robbie, tell us, what are your favorite target sports if you have to rattle off like your top three or four?
I mean, my favorites would be going to the gun range
Mm-hmm.
and just doing different variations of target shooting. There's different ways you can do it at the sophisticated ranges. They have um, machines that can move your targets,
Mm-hmm.
which is cool. A static target is excellent for accuracy, but it's not very realistic. Um, if you ever needed to use a gun, and also darts. I think darts is something that you just play with a beer in your hand, or you with your little, with your son, you can play with it. You can just kind of be noodling around and play darts just for fun. So, but there's a lot of good ones. I mean, bowling and on and on.
Yep. I love it. I put bocce in there. It's kind of a
Yeah.
fringe target sport, but bocce in there definitely. I'd say pool or billiards is definitely one for me. Bowling. I love darts. Archery's been fun when I've tried it. I love paintball. We covered paintball last time,
Hmm.
and that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I used to do paintball a lot in my 20s.
And then every type of shooting sport. Every time I go to the range with you, every type of gun that we do shoot, whether it's a pistol or a rifle or some of the machine guns we shot in Vegas, which is pretty amazing. We went out
Hmm.
there for your birthday, so they were all
The,
fun.
s-
I really,
the sniper rifle was amazing.
it was.
We were just dead center on every shot. It was wild.
It really was. Yeah. So we're going to get into some of those tonight and some of the new ones that you might never have heard of. So it'll be a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
next time I come up, we got to go to the range, man.
Hmm. Let's go.
Go take it out. So when did you start going to indoor ranges? Have you ever shot outdoor ranges?
I have.
What's kind of your overall experience with indoor versus outdoor? Because you'll see one of the sports we're going to go over tonight, small bore rifle. They talk a lot in that one about the wind really makes a huge difference because it's done outdoors. And
Hmm.
small bore is low caliber and low power. So you have to be really, really accurate. You got to be really skilled. And anytime there's wind, it just makes it a lot more difficult.
Hmm. To be honest, I mostly shoot indoor, and I do it whenever I can. Um, most of my experiences indoor with targets and in lanes, and but I have shot at a couple outdoor ranges, and those are really interesting. There's a lot more stimuli around, birds chirping. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you're there's just a lot more things. I remember when I got my concealed carry the first time. Um, we were at an outdoor range and we were getting our concealed shooting certification, and one of the guys lost focus and put a round right over the instructor's head, and
Wow.
yeah, he got kicked off the range. So it was pretty wild. I mean, there's just a lot more going on at an outside range potentially, and
Mm-hmm.
so you can get distracted, and that's the biggest problem that can be related to handling a weapon like that.
Of course, they have mistakes all the time on the Army and military ranges that are training
Yeah,
the new recruits, and they
it's
try
less
really hard to
focused.
train them. But there's accidents that happen every single year.
I
Um,
think there's something about shooting indoors. It's louder. It's an incredible concussion, and I think that keeps it frosty, and you have an appropriate level of excitement and anxiety and
and
like
focus,
and
focus.
focus.
Mhm.
So I've never had any problems focusing whatsoever indoors. Outdoors, I haven't either. But I think with the dispersion of the sound, it's not as dramatic, and
Mhm.
therefore maybe you're more prone to make errors. But super fun. It's really fun shooting outdoors. Normally, you're shooting with some kind of backdrop with a hill.
Mhm.
Um, you'd be, so, um, and you're shooting usually on a property that's very expansive. So it's a lot of fun. It's a really fun activity. It's good to sharpen your skills.
I think there's some shooting I can't even imagine indoors. Like, the couple times I went compound bow shooting, and I've got a picture here at the end we'll look at. When I went compound bow shooting, you're essentially in the woods on a very large property, and you're shooting at, fake deer and fake animals. And you need kind of that expansive property. You need that outdoor feel. You're shooting around a tree, and so it just depends what the sport is, what the discipline is.
One really fun thing to do is skeet shooting.
Hmm.
And when you jump in, they have courses set up where you jump in a golf cart
Hmm.
and you go around with your shotgun and you go plug in your machine
Hmm.
to the detonator or whatever, and you're usually with a partner. So you'll tell the partner pull, and they push the button, and then out of nowhere, you don't know where it's coming from. A clay pigeon
Hmm.
flies up,
Hmm.
and you gotta hit it, and it's pretty cool. Not knowing where the first one's coming from is challenging, and
You
then
know,
you
it's,
jump back in your golf cart and you go to the next hole. It's like golf kind of. So
it's
really
interesting.
fun activity.
Interesting you say that because I was watching some of the replays of our show we did in part one, and we covered clay shooting or pigeon shooting, and
Hmm.
we talked about it. And we showed the Olympic athletes doing it, and I was very impressed. They hit it every single time. But
Oh yeah.
you notice though, theirs is nowhere near as hard as going out on the range where you're in a golf cart, you step up into the box, and you don't know which direction it's coming from because essentially these Olympic athletes they knew where it was coming from every time.
Yeah.
So I wonder,
So you can get a quick beat on it
yeah,
exactly where but
I wonder if they should have an Olympic event where they have the range shooting they do now, and then maybe they should have like a outdoor obstacle course one where it's a little more
yeah.
difficult. So the one Rob's talking about, of course, is that kind of outdoor one where you go and do 18 holes. So
Yeah, it's fun.
a lot of fun. We did with our uncle.
It's beautiful, and you're usually overlooking a nice lake, and
Hmm.
everything's spread out, and you're shooting bird shot, so it's not going to travel very far.
Hmm.
You don't have to be super concerned with safety as long as everyone has lots of spacing.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, really fun stuff. Very fun activity.
Now you've been in a bowling league. Have you ever been in a darts league?
No, not really.
Okay, just playing at a bar with your friends or playing in
Playing
your
with
garage.
friends, yeah, yeah, yeah. Almost looked into dart league recently, but I've
Hmm.
been in billiard league.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
you did do that. Hmm. I
yeah.
wonder in a dart league how many different variants they play of it because you got, of course, the regular, bullseye with the point scoring. Then you have baseball, and you've got all these different variations. That would be kind of fun. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to give it a shot.
I almost did. I almost did. A friend of mine wanted to do it, and it just didn't happen. And now I found myself pretty busy, but um, I definitely enjoy darts. I have a dart board in my garage that I need to dig out sometimes. It gets buried in with life happening around it, but I cleared it out recently and can play now when I want.
Hmm. For sure. Well, let's go dive into these 14 target sports, and we'll take a
Let's
look.
do it.
Here we go. Let's take a moment just to hear from our sponsor, and that is Jersey Mike's. They're a longtime sponsor of the program. We're really happy to have them back. And I'll just say that I go there all the time. I go there probably twice a week now, and I love the number 13, the original Italian. I love the number 17. I know, Robbie, that's your favorite sandwich. Tell me
Yeah.
about your times at Jersey Mike's.
We were just in Myrtle Beach, and we had it multiple times and for dinner. So we just kept going back to Jersey Mike's. It was really awesome. I love the fresh food, great service. It's always a really fantastic meal. I'm always full. It's reasonably priced. I mean, I'd use the word cheap, but I mean, I might as well say cheap, but it's very affordable, great ingredients. They always get my sandwich right. And it's almost like a surprise every time how good it is.
It's
You know?
true. It's true. And what's nice when Rob and I are together, we split either the 13 or the 17. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like half a giant sandwich is perfect for both of us. So really works out really well.
Yeah, and then my family gets all kinds of other stuff, buffalo chicken and just so much. They have such good choices, fresh food. It's really good. It's a really good option.
So guys, go check out your local Jersey Mike's. Check out jerseymikes.com, where you can go to the Jersey Mike's app, or you can use Uber Eats, or you can use DoorDash or one of those services, but get yourself a sub tonight. All right, so this is our part two of the Target Sports from Around the World series. This is episode 70. You can see some of the fantastic sports we're going to look at tonight.
70.
Yeah, can you believe it? We got to 70. I know.
Say that again.
Pretty awesome.
Wow.
And just can't
Wow.
thank you guys enough for your patronage. You're watching our stuff, you're commenting on it, you're liking it, you're watching it and sending it to a friend. And we just can't thank you enough for growth of the channel.
I was talking to a work colleague today and telling them about the podcast and how it all started and how we just have fun with it. And it's turned out to be just way bigger than we could have ever expected. But it really, at the end of the day, it just comes down to being really fun, and hopefully it's a little entertaining for y'all, for sure. But we love doing it. It's a lot of cool material that we come up with, and we like to talk about these topics that we come up with. So this would be a typical car ride in the car where Tom and I are talking.
Yep.
We'd be talking about something like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's play a target sport. Let's do some darts this weekend or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Let's go
Gotcha on
through
the beach. Uh-huh.
let's go throw some shooting stars at the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah,
Yeah.
axe throwing or something.
So our first sport out of the gate, I cannot believe we didn't cover this in part one, but we didn't. And you just mentioned this sport. And it's from medieval England, and it's darts. The game of darts has a rich history coming from military training exercises to a popular pub game. And of course, we talked about that's really where we've been playing it. Its origins can be traced back to medieval England, where soldiers used short spears or arrows to hone their throwing accuracy. The practice helped them develop accuracy and aiming skills, which were crucial for combat. This activity evolved into recreational throwing at upturned wine barrels. So that's where the rings come from, were wine barrels.
Oh,
and,
that's cool.
and tree trunks with a natural growth rings of the latter inspiring the design of the modern dartboard. So I always wondered why there were rings, and now I understand, because they were either throwing at a tree trunk or at a wine barrel, which had that natural, circles in it. The numbered segments of the modern dartboard are said to have been inspired by circular targets used in archery, which makes a lot of sense. I was thinking that archery might have come first.
Probably.
Darts has become the popular pub game in the late 19th century, which is interesting, into the 20th century, and now is one of the most popular games in England, also in Ireland, Scotland, and the USA. The grassroots popularity laid the foundation for darts' eventual rise as a professional sport. And now you have these organizations like Professional Darts Corporation, the World Darts Federation, and they've all formalized the game, put the rules in, and created the competitions. Now there's tournaments all over the world, including professional leagues. So thoughts about darts, the rise of it, the medieval origins of it, and how it's gained popularity?
I mean, it's pretty cool to think about the evolution of throwing it at the bottom of a barrel or a tree trunk, little spears, sharp objects, instruments, and then they've honed it into more and more refined darts with the feathers. And I love playing it myself. Really, it's fun. If you get a really nice set of darts, it makes all the difference.
Mhm.
So if you start throwing with a friend and there's those cheap plastic light ones, it's fun, but it's not as much about skill.
Mhm.
The heavier you go, you can see these people take it seriously because they're using,
Really good
a
darts.
better
Yeah.
equipment. So
And it's because of the feathers is what you think is making the flight better?
just it spirals properly, and
Mhm.
I think no, but the weight of it, the weight and the distribution of the weight is really
Mhm.
has a lot to do with the accuracy that a high skill thrower
Mhm.
can take advantage of.
Mhm.
A lo- I,
Interesting.
for me, the lighter the dart, the less effective I am with it.
So we
I can,
always play with a board like you see there to the left, where if you hit in the 20 region, you get 20. If you hit the double ring or triple ring or the outer or inner bullseye, you get a certain factor
Mhm,
of score on whatever your hit is. That's how we always played it. But then now you have this very more complicated bullseye here, where every region of the dartboard has a different scoring pattern. So have you
mhm.
ever played in that complex a situation where like they're playing the pros?
Honestly, I haven't. Really, I just stay with cricket, usually in the traditional board in the lower left there. That's all I've ever played.
Because
Um,
apparently the pros are so good that they can shoot for like the 60 every time. Like they can hit it like 4 times in a row.
right.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And so it really takes the game to another level when you're talking about every zone on the board has a different score.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
any other
It's
thoughts about
impressive.
how you kind of got better at it? I know it's just practice, muscle memory.
Um,
Yeah.
I think it's really has to do with relaxing and using good equipment. So having good darts that fly nicely, and I find it in a nice, well lit bar or place. I throw a little better. It helps me kind of really get my hand eye in sync and just practice, just like anything else.
Hmm. Interesting.
But it's
So
a
it's
really fun
interesting.
thing. You can have a beer in your hand. You could be in the
Yeah.
middle of telling your friend a story that you haven't seen in a while. You don't
Hmm.
have to be super crazy concentrating unless you're taking it really seriously. But I think that these people really do take it seriously, and therefore it would be treated like any serious sport, in that your focus is everything.
You
So
notice that they wear goggles, which I thought was interesting. I never really seen that before, but they wear goggles, the really intense pros. Any reason for that? They're far enough back where they shouldn't worry about the dart
I
bouncing off
I
them.
don't know. Maybe our viewers can chime in here if you see. If you know anything about darts, why would they be wearing goggles? I didn't see that in my research, and I'm not
Mm.
sure.
So interestingly enough here, Luke Lydier becomes the youngest world darts champion at 17 years old. He's from England, and became the youngest ever world champion at 17 this year, which is really cool to see. What an amazing accomplishment by this young guy. You talk about having a great darts career coming up.
Hmm.
And then the woman to the right is from America. She's from St. Louis, Missouri. Her name is Laura Baddeley, and she's the women's champion this year. And this is the
Nice.
third time she's won it, and was the first American to win it in the last 30 years. But now she's won it 3 times. So kind
Good
of
for her.
interesting to see him at 17 and her at 42. They're kind of different age brackets, but really kind of dominating the sport right now.
Yeah, I guess just muscle memory. The quicker you can get the motion down, you can really hone in on targets.
Hmm. So we know both of us have tried this and both of us love this game. Guys, drop us a comment. Have you tried darts? Would you try darts? And let's go take a look at it.
To find a breaker throw in this set if he wants to level up the World Championship final. Michael Van Geuren isn't in any mood to give him a sniff.
Yeah, the combination finishing in this game is going to be key. You can tell by the way they're scoring, there may be nothing in it. They may both be on nines. Michael may miss and Michael may hit. They're both on nines. They're both on a nine. This is insane. Come on now.
Wow, of the World Championship final. Michael van Gerwen is on a 9-darter in the World final and just misses double 12. Over to you, Michael Smith.
One man misses, does the other man get? I have never seen the like. Come on, Spolly boy! Yes, double 12! That is the most amazing lemon odds you will ever see!
How'd you like to play those guys?
I love the commentators.
They hit it every time, Robbie. They hit it every time. It's unbelievable. You and I are playing to hit it like 1 out of 10, you know?
I wouldn't say that, but I mean, we'd be peppering it all around it and sometimes hit it. But, you know, we're not going to be far off, but those guys are just money.
Insane. It's incredible. Now, they're closer than I thought they would be. I thought it was a little further back, but wow. You talk about accuracy.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a dart injury? Have you ever seen it bounce off the board and hit somebody or come close to knocking someone's eye out or something? Have you ever seen an injury?
I don't think so. I've seen video where people's darts get thrown and they go into someone's hand or something, but no, I've never watched it myself.
Mm-hmm.
People are pretty careful about it, you know?
Well, it's fun to watch those really good players. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, number 2 is another sport we all know a lot about, but one of the things I didn't know about is the history of bowling. It actually comes from ancient Egypt. It's a target sport and recreational activity where players roll a ball to knock down pins or hit a target. While often associated with 10-pin bowling, the term encompasses various types of bowling like lawn bowling and other pin-based games. Bowling is a popular sport with many national and international competitions all over the world. The most common form played on a lane with 10 pins is set up at the far end, as you can see in the bottom left there. Players aim to knock down as many pins as possible in each frame with a combined score after 10 frames. The highest score possible, of course, is a 300. It's a perfect game. Other variations are lawn bowls, where a player rolls balls beyond a target or towards a target, which is the jack. There's candlestick bowling that you and I did when we were kids with our grandfather. And there's
we just played candlestick bowling with the boys for the first time down in
What
Florida.
What do they
And
think?
it was hard. They didn't like it. It was
No?
different. You know, they're not used to it. It was the first time for them. So
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah,
and there's also 9-pin bowling, which is set up in a different way. It's kind of interesting. So bowling has very ancient roots with evidence of similar games dating back thousands of years in Egypt. The modern form of bowling emerged in the United States in the 19th century. You see some pictures there from some of the tombs where they found these incredibly carved pictures in Egypt of people using a ball and hitting pins down in a bowling type game. So what are your thoughts? Cool. What are your thoughts about that? I know you just went to Egypt a couple of years ago, went down into some of these tombs.
Yeah, went down in a pyramid. I think bowling is really cool because you can take your kids and do it. You can experience it in different ways. Everyone has gone to a bowling alley and most everyone has thrown a ball and it was a strike. So that's an incredible feeling to be successful.
That brings you back.
Yeah. The ancient nature of this shows kind of the simplicity of it is something that could be, you know, 1,000 years old or whatever. It's definitely interesting that Egypt experimented with this and found it to be an interesting pastime. And I was a little surprised when I read the history of it, but not shocked or anything. But bowling's a lot of fun. You know, it's a logical activity that certainly you could sense has a long history, and I think that's cool.
It is, and kids love it. You know, every age loves it.
Yeah.
It's
My boys used to put the little rails up, and they've kind of graduated past that now. So there's different age levels. You can hit it almost, you know, 3 years old or something.
And I think you graduate up in your bowling acumen, right? So as a kid, you've got the bumpers up. Now your kids don't have those anymore. Then eventually you're just trying to roll it straight down the lane, even if it's slow, just trying to get it somewhere near the middle. Then you can see these guys who are pros, or they're shooting for 300 games if they can get them. And they use this incredible spin technique where they spin the ball and they're trying to get it right in in the pocket essentially, so they can get all 10 pins down.
Yeah,
So,
and you really spend a lot of your time cleaning up. Maybe you get 8 pins on your first throw. Trying really hard to get better at knocking those last 2 down and getting your spare.
mhm.
It's
So
something that, yeah.
what were some techniques you used to kind of get better when you're in your league? I mean, was it just watching other players and trying to copy them? Was it going
Um,
practicing when you weren't playing games?
it is so important to do the same thing every time so you can really hone in on your throw. So just getting comfortable with the way your body's going to walk up to the line and spin it. Some people really go for a big spin and have it go right out over the just next to the gutter and then coming back in so
Mhm.
that it can hit right in that pocket and you have a good shot at a strike. Some people a little bit less of a spin, but I had a medium spin. Mine started out there on the right side and moved its way over.
It's interesting. A lot of the pros talk about it really does make a huge difference, the lane you're bowling on and how oiled it is.
Yeah.
Because, they're talking about precision. They're trying to spin it perfectly. So like you said, it barely stays out of the gutter, but then spins back in.
Mm-hmm.
And based on how much the lane is oiled, they can determine how far they can swing that ball out there. So, so it's interesting sport, interesting, muscle memory game, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So PBA Tour, do you watch any of this on TV? Is this something
A little
interesting?
bit. I think it's interesting. I can watch it for a bit. There's been some champs over the years who have been very flamboyant and interesting to watch. And of course, Kingpin is one of the best sports movies
Mhm.
I've
It
seen.
is.
Hilarious comedy with Bill Murray and
Mhm.
Woody Harrelson, and just a very funny take on this sport. Bowling
Really
is,
one of the most fun games you can do as a family. I mean, this and putt-putt and a
yeah,
couple of other things.
this is a great one. You go get a pitcher of beer and a pizza, and you put the rails up if you got little ones. You leave the rails down if you don't. You go get a ball that's 12 pounds or whatever,
Mhm.
14 pounds, and you make sure it fits your hand well, and you go and you put you put those bowling shoes on and you just have a good time. It's kind of like golf. You get really excited about the good shots and you don't worry about the bad ones.
It's true. It's true. It's so much fun. And this sport, among several others, really is perfect for like a league scenario where someone wants to be in a league once a week, to get away from
Yeah.
work. And I
Yeah,
know
it's a good
bowling
social.
leagues are very popular.
It's a good social pastime.
Softball
Yeah.
leagues are similar. Now you got pickleball leagues. I'm actually in a pickleball league that
Mm-hmm.
is structured very similar to a bowling league.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a really good format. It's fun, and you get to know cool people, and it gives you something to look forward to on a Wednesday night, kind of break up the week. So,
Mm-hmm.
Billiards league. I know you were in one of those too. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and take a look at bowling.
Two of the best bowlers on the planet are about to go head-to-head. How about the matchup here? Belmo tapping the top 2 seeds from Jupiter, Florida. Dave, Randy, Kimberly, our entire crew. Here's the top seed. His first ball looks good.
Not sure I expected anything different. Belmonte starting with IQ Tour on the left lane, and I believe he's going to use a phase 2 on the right. EJ Blue Coral Venom on the right, VIP on the left. All reactive resin now, no more urethane. Players are in, chasing that oil line.
Come on, EJ Tackett off the 300 game.
I mean, how would you like to play those guys?
You wouldn't have much chance.
Did you see in the semifinal he won 300 to 212?
Yeah, I mean they're probably going to be hitting 8 out of 10 or higher in strikes. So,
how in the world do
they can hit
that angle?
300,
Do you
but
see
it's
the
most
angle
likely it's going to be 285 or something.
Yeah, you see they start way to the left, and then they curl it way out, and then it spins back in right when it catches the wood, I guess.
I don't know. They've probably thrown 3,000 balls. They're just they got it so honed in. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's inspiring. I watch that and I just think to myself, could I ever be that good? Could I ever get close to that? Like,
can you spend the time to get there?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No.
So, guys, drop us a comment. What do you think of bowling? Do you enjoy it with your family? Great target sport. And I know we really love it in our family. So, but not that good.
No, just for fun.
All right. So, number 3 is the small bore rifle from the United Kingdom. Small bore rifle shooting, sometimes known as miniature rifle shooting, is a set of disciplines of shooting sports. Small bore uses smaller caliber rifles, typically chambered in 22 long rifles, at a range of usually 100 yards or shorter. Depending on range, it can be either conducted indoors or outdoors. Small bore shooting is contrasted with full bore rifle shooting, which uses larger, higher powered calibers and almost universally is conducted outdoors. Historically, small bore shooting has been most popular in the United Kingdom and former British Empire, like Australia, Canada, South Africa, New Zealand, and also very popular in the US. Small bore shooting became possible in 1845 when the French gunmaker Nicolas Flaubert developed the first 22 caliber rim rifle cartridge. However, it was originally treated largely as a recreational pastime and considered a poor cousin to full bore shooting. Conducted with military-style rifles, this began to change in the United Kingdom from the turn of the 20th century and is now an Olympic event. So thoughts about small bore rifle. Some people think it actually takes a lot more skill because you don't have the power to back you up, and it's pretty much you really have to be super accurate.
I mean, the accuracy of your opponent is going to be incredibly high. So I wouldn't say it takes more skill because I think there's a lot less recoil, a lot less energy. So I think that this is very cool. The caliber being small, it's really about getting that perfect shot. And I think that's pretty satisfying to be shooting well and to be hitting all your targets dead center.
Do you like watching these types of events in the Olympics? I know I do.
I do. Yeah.
All the shooting events.
I watch all kinds of Olympic events. I love the stranger it is, the cooler it is for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you don't think
I like target sports in the Olympics for sure.
So you don't think this is more accurate than the higher power, even though I was reading that a lot of people think it is harder because
accurate, yes. Harder, no. I don't think it's harder. But it is hard because the guy next to you, your opponent, is dead center too. So it's a little easier because there's a lot less recoil.
So is this something you'd like to try?
Oh, sure. I'd love it.
Get one of these small bore rifles and get out there
that'd be
from 100 yards.
Yeah, I'd love to see how accurate I could be with it. I'm not sure how well I would do in the beginning. I think I would get better the more time I put in it. I've shot 22s before.
They're acting like 100 yards is not that far, but I mean that's the football field. So that's still pretty.
It's not that far with a rifle.
Yeah. I really would like to try this event. I don't know how we could, but small bore rifle. This looks really fun. I don't know if we can maybe find a range around here that has it, but this would be super cool. Let's go take a look.
Welcome to the Rifle Silhouette channel's coverage of the Spindletop Small Bore Rifle Silhouette Regional Championship at the Golden Triangle Gun Club in Beaumont, Texas. Small bore rifle shooters came together from Texas, Louisiana, and even Washington State for 2 great days of silhouette shooting. Before the kickoff of the main event, competitors tried their luck in the air rifle arena. This was my first time knocking these critters over with the air guns, and I had a blast. Don't let the shorter distances fool you. Even at only 20, 30, 36, and 45 yards, it was definitely a challenge. Let's just say wind is not your friend. In the air rifle category, shooters chose to compete with either a sporter, target, or open class rifle, each one with its own unique characteristics. Moving over to the Smallbore range, shooters experienced excellent conditions during the 2 days of competition. 2 40-shot standard rifle matches were held on Saturday, followed by 2 40-shot hunter rifle matches on Sunday. Classification and aggregate winners were announced on Sunday, with Dustin Flint of Team Burger Bullets winning the aggregate championship with a score of 144 out of 160. Eric Meetencourt of Team SK Ammunition was only 2 points behind, and rounding out the top 3 was Chris Cawthorn with a score of 139 out of 160. Congratulations goes out to all the shooters that took part, and a special shout out to the amazing young shooters on the line. Keep up the great work.
What do you think of that?
Pretty cool.
That's
That
a
range
kind
kind of reminds me of the last concealed carry certification I did.
You heard him talk about the wind. That's the one thing that one of the reasons they say it's harder than full bore, because full bore you can shoot through the wind. Small bore really affects it.
No, I agree. I think wind affects it more, but generally speaking, you're gonna have very accurate shots, unless the wind kicks up, and then it really throws it. But
It looked like it was far out there, even at 45 yards. I mean, man, these guys are good.
with rifles, it's super accurate.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool. I mean, we were really accurate in Vegas with the sniper, but we weren't shooting that far out there. So
No, we were shooting pretty close up.
drop us a comment, guys. Would you want to try small bore rifle? I think it looks like a lot of fun. I think Rob and I are going to have to find a range.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 4, we got Carom Billiards from France. Carom Billiards, also known as Carom or French billiards. It's a cue sport played on a table without pockets. So it's a very different game. Game involves using a cue ball to strike 2 other target balls. You literally have to hit both of them on every shot to make a carom, hitting both object balls in the single shot. It's a game of strategy and precision. You're essentially trying to give the other person you're playing against a bad lie to shoot it. It's very popular in Europe and Asia, with other forms like straight rail and bulk line and 3-cushion billiards. 3-cushion billiards is the most popular of all these Carom billiards games. The game uses 1 white cue ball, 1 yellow cue ball, and 1 red object ball. Core objective is to make a carom, which is a shot where the cue ball makes contact with both object balls, your opponent's ball and the red ball. Carom billiards has a rich history with roots in 18th century France, evolving into various forms over time. What are your thoughts about Carom billiards? Have you ever tried it? What do you think about this game? It'd be very difficult, I think.
We've definitely played this overseas before. It's harder. I mean, it's a hard, difficult game, Carom billiards. In my opinion, harder than regular billiards.
You got to be really good at spinning the ball, which, I'm okay at, but not great at. I mean, these pros are unbelievable at the spins you have to do to hit both balls.
Yeah, you have to be very creative.
Yeah, you do. This is a game that's really popular in Europe, really popular in France. You can see the organization that runs the Carom Billiards regional and global competitions. USBA is the organization that runs this. And again, it's just very popular. You can see they have a special corner you can put on a regular billiard table if you want to play Carom billiards. You can see there to the bottom right.
Yeah, you can modify a regular billiards table.
So do you think this game, like you said, it needs to be really creative, is It's one side of the billiards, I guess, tree. The other side would be something like snooker in England, where they've got something like 30 balls on the table. It's very confusing to watch. This
Yeah.
one only have 3 balls, and it's just really a precision game.
Yeah, I mean it's a fascinating way to play this kind of a game, and very creative. Where you don't have a lot of balls to work with, but you got to become a master of angles.
That's right. Yeah. And the other wild thing is it has to hit 3 bumpers before it hits both balls. So it's really very difficult, as you'll see. So is this something you think you could get good at? You're pretty good at regular billiards.
Pretty good at regular billiards. This would take some practice.
Mm-hmm. Let's go take a look at this one. It's pretty wild.
I got a few videos on my channel. They're shot on an artistic billiard table. So the table is about 10 feet long. The particularity is that there is no pocket. What is the object of the game? So you got 3 balls. The red ball, usually nobody touches it. And you're gonna play with either the whites or the yellow. So when you play an opponent, one guy has the yellow, the other one has the white ball. The goal of the game is to make a carom. That means touching the white ball into the yellow, for example, make 3 rail and touch the red ball. You can do the contrary too, which is, touch the white ball here into the red ball, go 3 rail and touch the yellow. So that's what we call recreational.
Wow.
To start the game, you're gonna have the red ball on the spots, it's already pre-marked. Then the yellow on the spots, just down there, and then the white's gonna be to the right of the yellow or the left, depending if the player is lefty or righty. Shoot the cue ball into the red ball. You're gonna go long rail, short rail, long rail, into the yellow, and that's the opening point. The spirit of the game, it's a very, it's all about cue ball control. So it's why we all love this game when you play at such a level, because you can control the white ball, and it takes all the ability and knowledge about the spin and how it reacts and the rail. The difference in between pool is, first of all, the white ball is a lot bigger. I don't know if you can see it, the white ball is a lot bigger. So this is gonna play a little difference. And then also on the table, tables are really heavy, really good quality, but they also heat it. So it's gonna help the ball to roll faster. The felt on the table is also a lot faster, so the ball can roll more. Thinner claws. It's all about how much the ball can roll and how much less friction you can have, because simply you're gonna have to use a lot of spin, a lot of rails, so the more the table rolls, the easier the game is.
Man, what do you think of that?
That's hard.
What in the world?
It's way harder than it looks.
What do you think you'd have to do to practice for that? To hit it every time? Both balls.
You'd have to really understand angles.
Mm-hmm. You hear the table's heated to reduce friction, which I think is really interesting, so that you can spin easier. Mm-hmm. The white cue ball is bigger than a regular billiard cue ball. I guess it gives you more of a target.
Mm.
So you have to be, I guess, a complete addict at billiards to be good at that game, and maybe have one at home.
You'd have to invest a lot of time.
Probably have a table at home, I would think.
Yeah.
Be really good at it. Drop us a comment, guys. Is that a type of billiards you would try and enjoy? Let us know. All right, number 5 has become my favorite Winter Olympic sport, Robbie, and I can't believe I'm even saying that. I remember 3 Winter Olympics ago, I just thought it was a curiosity, and I started watching it, and I would watch a little bit of it here, and then I'd go back to the sports I really enjoy, ski jumping and things like that. And then 2 Olympics ago, I started really watching it to the point where I was watching men's and women's, almost the whole competition. And then, of course, last Olympics, our U.S. men's team won the gold, which was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And
I fell in love with those guys. They were all just regular dads. It was hilarious.
Yeah. And so this sport has kind of taken over. I mean, there's a lot of countries that really love curling. U.S. was not really one of them until these guys came along, and now
Yeah.
they've kind of announced themselves on the world stage. So curling is a winter sport played on ice where two teams of 4 players slide stones across a target area called a house. And you can see there the target on the bottom right there. It looks a lot like a dartboard. The objective is to score points by having stones closer to the button, which is the center of the house, than the opponent's stones. Players can also use brooms to sweep the ice in front of the stone to influence its path and distance. Curling is played on a rectangular sheet of ice, which is 146 feet long and 14.5 feet wide. Each team uses 8 granite stones weighing around 44 pounds each. The target area is a circular target marked on the ice with concentric rings and a central button. Players use brooms or brushes to sweep the ice in front of the moving stone, which can affect its speed and curl or its curved path. Points are awarded at the end of each end, which is a period of play, or kind of like an inning. Curling involves a combination of strategic shot selection, precise throwing, effective sweeping to outmaneuver the opposing team. It has a long history, particularly in Scotland, where it was originated. Curling is a popular sport at the Winter Olympics with men's, women's, and mixed doubles events. So thoughts about curling, Robbie, you know, us falling in love with it as a country?
I think it's a really cool sport. It's not really like anything else, except the only thing I can think of is sort of shuffleboard. The sand shuffleboard that you have in a bar is similar, where it's got the little discs and you roll it across the sand table. I think it's really cool watching them go crazy with their brooms to sort of create a warm.
You know, even though I've fallen in love with the sport, the sweeping part of it, I still kind of giggle. It's still a little silly to me, but I understand why they do it. It works. I mean,
Yeah,
it really
I'm sure that it works. It must create some better friction, some warming of the surface.
I mean, of any target sport, this is one of the toughest because you're sliding this 44-pound rock on ice and you're trying to bend it in to these little tiny, you know, spaces right next to the button. It's pretty amazing when you watch it.
I think it's really cool that the team can influence it down the court.
Right.
Instead of once the throw happens, you just sit there and watch it. You're actively working on the throw as it's going. And I think that's cool. That's kind of unique, you know. None of the other sports are we covering. If you throw a dart in the air, you're not going to be influencing it along the way. It's once it's out of your hand, it's gone. Same with a bullet or anything else. This is different. This is the entire time it's in motion, you can influence it. And I think that's cool.
Is it just me who just can't stop watching it? I don't know what it is about curling in the Winter Olympics, but I really, really love it.
I fell in love with watching it when those dads went and won
the gold medal. I mean, just total.
To me, that was so cool because that was just 4 dudes plucked off your street and just go do this thing. And you know, I remember hearing jokes about how they did it just to get out of the house. And
so this is a sport I've been telling myself I want to try for about a decade, and I haven't done it yet. But I think this winter's the winter. I'm
hoping when we go to Scotland, we're gonna get to try it in traditional places.
That would be cool. But I think I'm going to try to find a Charlotte, North Carolina-based curling club this winter, at least to go try it once. Just want to see what it feels like. So, any other thoughts?
We need to try it before we hit Scotland for sure.
No doubt. Any other thoughts about curling before we go take a look at it?
Nah, it's just really cool.
Really enjoy it. Let's go.
The U.S. men have defied the odds. They have reached the gold medal game, and tonight they will take on Sweden.
His worst finish at a World Championships or Olympic, it's 6th. That's why. Key play here early in this contest in N3. Schuster stays hot. The United States gets its deuce to tie it up.
Very important shot.
In the 4-game win streak, they've given nothing more than a 2 to one of their foes, and only 2 of those.
Trying to be right on the nose of the red.
What a great shot. Shot stone and very difficult to remove. Waiting for this rock to curl, trying to get to the nose. I don't know. It doesn't.
Wow, that's a huge break for Team USA. And that means the U.S. has the steal to go ahead.
And not a lot of folks expected Team USA to get here. But for Sweden, Nicholas Edin coming in as one of the pre-tournament favorites.
How about that? That one spot on.
Just is a little bit wide.
He didn't like it at all, and that's why he knew it was off.
It would be a huge swing for Team USA.
The U.S. trying to set another roadblock.
So the easiest shot is yellow onto red onto yellow, but it's only for one.
And the degree of difficulty is high. And Nicholas Edin somehow pulls it off.
But he is desperately hoping to finish first.
Last here for Edin in the 8th.
Doesn't quite roll enough.
This is a potential double for 5 and maybe gold for the U.S.
Can he get it?
He can! 5 on the board for Team USA. He realizes the writing is on the wall. And that is it.
Doesn't get any better than that.
It's just really exciting.
Do you think you'd be any good at that sport?
I don't know. It's a lot like bocce.
I love the British announcers. Those guys were American announcers, but the British guys and the Scottish guys, they're like, that was a lovely stone.
Yeah.
What a stone.
That's funny.
Yeah, they're really funny. So, man, I
Good
love
stuff.
that sport. I can't wait to try it. Drop us a comment, guys. Have you ever tried curling? What a neat sport it is. All right, next we've got horseshoe pitching from the USA. This is actually from Texas, or horseshoes, as most people call it. It's a lawn game played between 2 people or 2 teams of 2, using 4 horseshoes and 2 throwing targets or stakes on either side of the lawn or sandbox area. Modern games use more stylized U-shaped bars, about twice the size of an actual horseshoe that they used to use back in the day. National Horseshoes Pitchers Association, NHPA, is the sport of horseshoes governing body, maintains a set of rules and their specifications for the game on their website. The game begins with a horseshoe flip to decide who goes first. The winner of the flip throws both horseshoes at one time at the opposite stake, and then the second player throws both of their horseshoes again at the same time at their end. After scoring, the next round is done in reverse order by throwing back at the original stake, and play continues until one player has at least 21 points. Horseshoe Pit was built at the White House in 1940s by President Harry Truman. I thought that was kind of interesting. The game began officially in West Texas in the 1880s on a horse and cattle ranch, as you can imagine. So, Robbie, thoughts about horseshoes? Have you had fun playing it? We used to play it at Grand Tats. He had a little horseshoe pit.
Over the years, I've dabbled a little. It's been fun. It's a very fun pastime. It reminds me of, playing at our grandfather's. It's not something I've consistently played a lot, but it's really fun. You can just pick them up and play it, and after a few minutes, you start getting a little better at it, and it's good stuff. It's fun.
Again, every game that humans create, about half of the games have to do with some kind of target, right? You're shooting at something.
Right.
And I remember we were not great at it as kids, but every once in a while we would get a ringer. And it's just the best feeling in the world when you get your horseshoe to ring around that stake. So any other thoughts about this very West Texas type game?
Just from my good memories of it when I was little, when I was younger. And I think it's an interesting sport for sure. But it's, they always say horseshoes and hand grenades.
That's right. That's
Close
right.
only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So
It's very true. Very
being
true.
close
So
in this game is important.
makes sense that this would have started on a horse and cattle ranch by a bunch of ranchers, right? They're just sitting there one day, kind of bored. They've already rustled up all their cattle, and they're nothing to do, and they grab a couple of horseshoes
and they have shoes just in their hand, and they're looking around.
Put a stake out there, and hey, let's play this game here.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys,
We often have talked about the evolution of a sport coming from having basic materials, a basic animal that is involved in something, and how do we score with this? The human brain is pretty predictable. It's always looking for a way to compete at something, and this is a funny example of, as you described, cowboys sitting around a ranch, staring at a pole, and they're holding a horseshoe, and they're like, "Let me throw it."
And really, you don't need a lot of space for it on your property. Just two
No.
stakes, about 25 yards apart, and you're good to go.
You can kind of leave it out in the elements, the weather. You don't have to protect the equipment or anything.
Or you can hang the horseshoes up in your garage if you want to.
Yeah. You can protect the horseshoes if you want, but the stake can just sit out there all the time.
Right. Let's go take a look.
Tonight, he's been called perhaps the most dominant athlete in any sport in this entire country. Never heard of him? That's because his pursuit is slightly below the radar. And that is the focus of tonight's Weekend Journal. Alan Francis, the best ever. Alan Francis is a machine. Pitching his 2.5-pound horseshoes 40 feet, landing them over and over on a 15-inch stake.
Throwing ringers, that's the name of the game.
Nearly 90% of his tosses are ringers, which has helped him win the Horseshoe Pitching World Championship the past 7 years, 15 times overall.
Whatever my best performance is, I want to beat it.
Now 40 years old, Francis has been pitching since he was 7, when he practiced 5 hours a day, learning the basics from his dad.
As little movement as possible is what my dad always taught me.
Was it love at first pitch?
Probably not at first pitch, but once I got a little older, then it became something I loved to do.
And he loved winning, the junior championships and the big trophies that followed. Of course, it's not as easy as Francis makes it look. And the idea is for it to do
one flip. Beautiful. Yeah, very good.
That was very lucky. Francis says beginners hit ringers only 1 to 3% of the time. His rate of 90 is unreal, but maybe not his peak.
You're never quite satisfied. You're always thinking you can get a little bit better.
No matter how good he gets, there's not much money in it. The World Championship prize is $4,000. He earns the same amount every year from sales of his signature horseshoes. His real job is purchasing manager for a local printing company in his hometown of Defiance, Ohio. If Nike wants to officially sponsor you, you're accepting offers.
Very much so.
Horseshoes is also how Francis met his wife, Amy. She was once runner-up in the Women's World Championship.
This ability to be in the zone all the time is what has really made him a great player. I see the eagle eyes is what I call it. He looks like an eagle bearing down and looking on his prey.
Even with that intensity, Francis remains a very humble champ.
I don't think much about comparing myself to, Tiger or Nicholas or Jordan. Those guys. I mean, they're at a different level than me.
So that guy would be tough to play.
You wouldn't want to run into him at the barbecue.
Did you know about the one flip? I didn't know about that technique.
Nah, I have no idea.
I can see it though. It gives you that a little bit more accuracy, but
yeah,
he's hitting 90% ringers from 25 yards.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Insane. And we're getting him close, but
I remember we would throw it and it would flip a few times. So we were obviously not using the best technique.
As adults, we haven't played it in a long time, but I wonder what our percentage would be, like 10% or something, 20?
Yeah, 10 to 20.
I'm kind of wanting to try it now just to see if I can try that new technique that he talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite comment, guys. Do you like to play horseshoes at home? Let us know. All right, number 7 is a game very similar to bocce, but it's from France. It's called Petanque. And Petanque is a precision target sport. It's a throwing game originating in France where all players aim to throw the ball that are metal or hollow metal called bowls as close as possible to a small target ball known as a jack or a cock. Core objective is to get your bowls closer to the jack than your opponents, requiring accurate throws and strategic placement. Players utilize different throwing techniques like pointing or shooting, and all of them have their own specific precision and control technique. There's also a Carom shot, which is an advanced shot that involves knocking an opponent's ball out of the way and replacing it with your own and making your ball stay where it hits. It's a really difficult Carom shot. Precision shooting competitions. Petanque has even dedicated precision shooting event where players hit targets at various distances and configurations. So they have this straight petanque game where you're trying to get near the small jack. In the bocce is called a Polino. But they also have shooting competitions where you're shooting at targets with your ball, which is kind of interesting. The World Championships are held every year in Toulouse, France, which is pretty interesting. So have you heard of this sport, Robbie? Have you ever tried it?
Never tried it, and we lived in France. But I will say we did mention Petanque when we did our bocce episode.
Right, we did.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I ran into it in my research. I don't know much about this sport other than the research we've done on this. Haven't played it, and it looks pretty cool.
It's basically the same rules as bocce. It's just
the thing I'm wondering is how do you differentiate between teams? Because I know that they're metal balls. How do you tell whose is whose?
It's a good question. They usually play 2-on-2 or 3-on-3.
Right.
But I guess
there must be some demarcation on the ball that
there must be
makes it a red color or a blue color or something.
What do you think it feels like to throw a hollow metal ball versus the ball we're used to, which is kind of a clay ball? Like, how's that different?
I think that it's definitely. I remember them mentioning that when you knock each other's balls, it's a lot different. I don't know. I think it might give you some pretty accurate shot.
They also like to play on hard packed sand and a little harder surface than we play on bocce. So, and I think that's because they can get different kinds of spins out of it. So,
yeah,
really interesting. I have not tried this. I would love to try it. Obviously, we love to play bocce, so this would be just a natural extension for us. So definitely would love to try this. Let's go take a look. You think it's easier to fly those balls?
The amount of spin and control those guys have is way different than bocce.
Is that astounding?
Yeah.
If you miss it, I guess it bounces over. But it's just incredible to me.
They have so much spin on it that it goes over and it stops. And
they're not trying to roll it.
Back.
They're not trying to roll it. They're trying to fly it most of the time.
Yeah.
They're trying to hit somebody. Now, I'm sure they do roll it on a normal shot, but when they're trying to hit somebody, they're trying to fly it and land it right on it. So the accuracy is just astounding. And I wonder if that ball is easier to fly than a bocce ball. I wonder if that's a possibility.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch it draw backward. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm. So I would like to try that sport for sure. Drop us a comment, guys. Have you tried Petanque? All right, number 8, we got the rapid fire pistol from the USA. This is a shooting sport governed by International Shooting Sport Federation. The event consists of 2 stages, each with 30 shots each. Each stage includes a series of 5 shots fired at 5 different targets with time limits of 8, 6, or 4 seconds. So you have very rapid time to get the shots off. Targets are designed to appear and disappear, simulating the rapid nature of the event. And Robbie, you were talking about some of the ranges you go to have that appear and disappear capability.
Yeah. What they'll do is they'll have like a target sideways and it'll flap open. And you have about 4 or 5 seconds to shoot at it. And then it goes sideways again, so you can't hit it. And that's to make sure that your accuracy is based on a time limit. You know, it's very difficult to have a moving target open up. You have to get the shot off. And there were many times when I've been doing it where I'll right as I'm about to shoot, it starts to close up. It can be really unnerving. So the timing of it there's a high pressure situation.
In modern competitions, electronic systems often replace mechanical targets, displaying red and green lights to indicate when to shoot and when not to shoot. Shooters use self-loading pistols chambered in a .22 caliber long rifle. Pistols have a maximum weight and must meet specific dimensional and trigger pull requirements. You can see what the rapid fire pistol looks like there on the right. Kind of an interesting structure there. In major competitions, a final round may involve additional 4-second series with a hit defined as a shot scoring a 9.7 or above. It's the oldest shooting event at the Olympics, dating back to 1896, and was originated in Oklahoma in the USA. Traditionally, it's a men's event, but women and juniors have also been starting to participate at the national level. Thoughts about rapid fire pistol?
I just think it's a really interesting technique, using the one hand instead of using, like in a normal situation, you'd have your brace hand, and the speed. These guys got to be ready to fire quickly.
You think it's harder to shoot one hand and also to shoot rapidly?
I do.
It makes it a lot more difficult, right?
Yeah, I would. Absolutely, it'd be more difficult to be accurate.
And these guys shoot. In the competitions, they hit almost every single time. It's really amazing to watch. So, is this something you'd like to try?
Yes.
Rapid fire pistol.
I'd like to try it right now.
Me too. Do they have this set up at your range or no?
I mean, not really.
No.
I mean,
and you don't have the rapid fire gun either, probably.
Well, that's the thing. It's not so much the range; it's the gun. But no, they don't have the setup or anything. But you could do it with the targets, the way our machines work.
I'd definitely like to try this one. I think this would be a lot of fun. I don't know how good I'd be at it, but again, like all these target precision sports, it's just muscle memory and practice.
Yep.
Let's go take a look.
25-metre rapid-fire pistol final was held at the Olympic Shooting Centre. In each round of the final, shooters get 5 shots to hit 5 targets. Sounds simple, but because it's rapid fire, they have to do it within 4 seconds. After each round, the lowest score would be out. It was a high-class field with some of the world's top-ranked shooters in the mix. Finals world record holder Riccardo Mazzetti was knocked out first. He hit a disappointing 8 out of 20 shots. Next to go, defending Olympic champion Leoris Pupo, eliminated in 5th place. World number 1 Zhang Fusheng had been shooting well and was just 1 shot behind leader, Germany's Christian Reitz. But in the 6th round, he only managed to hit 1 out of 5. He was out of the medals. 3 shooters remained. Reitz, consistent throughout, led and would shoot for gold. But who would join him in the final 2? It came down to a tense shoot-off between French shooter Jean Quiquampois and China's Li Yuhong. They were on level scores. A 5 from Li was met with a 5 from Quiquampois. Next, 3 each. They were still level. A 3 again from Li. Quiquampois needed 4 or more to be guaranteed at least the silver. He remained calm and shot a perfect round, 5 out of 5. And Li would have to settle for the bronze. So to the gold medal round. 5 more shots to decide who would become Olympic champion. Reitz needed to hit 4 or more to take the title. And the German showed his class with a perfect round. The final results: bronze for 26-year-old Li Yuhong, silver for Jean Kikwampwa, who had come back from a shaky start to take a medal, and gold to Christian Reitz.
So those guys are good, man.
Yeah.
I guess you have to shoot your whole adult life to get that good. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just an extreme amount of practice at a very specific type of targets. And
did you notice how they were holding it and how they were moving very methodically? There was a motion.
It was also interesting where the technique on the last shot after the last one was done, they acted like they were going to another one every single time.
Right.
Yeah, that was
cool. Almost like a follow through, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a follow through.
Would you try that?
Oh yeah.
Rob wants to go now.
It'd be fun. I want to go now.
All right, number 9 is Quoits from Greece. It's a traditional throwing game where metal or rope rings are tossed at a raised target, often a metal spike or a hob, set in clay or a dirt pit. So it's very similar to horseshoes, but it's their version of it's using a ring. The goal is to land the ring as close to the target as possible, with scoring based on proximity and ringers. Game area is a flat rectangular space with 2 clay or dirt pits positioned 21 feet apart or 7 yards. Each pit contains a target that's a metal spike or hob. A ring encircles the hob, scores 3 points. A ring that leans against the hob also scores 1 point. 2 players or 2 teams of 2 compete against each other. Quoits is a game with a long history with roots in ancient Greece back to 500 BC and spread by the Romans. And you can see they found 2 locations in Greece. You can see them there on the bottom, what they look like, where they used to play quoits back in BC. So thoughts about this, European, Greek, ancient version of horseshoes?
It looks like a lot of fun. I think you could have a lot of fun. Could set it up anywhere, really.
And you notice there's different targets. They have one with 1 stakes, and then they have these stakes with 5 stakes where you get different points based on throwing it on there. I could see this being a fun family game.
I think it'd be a fun family game. You could play it anywhere.
You take an ancient Greek game and put it in the yard, and it's like a lot of fun. I could see Ashton liking this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Any thoughts about this, how ancient some of these target games are?
I mean, it's cool that 500 BC, that is an old game. But it's obvious that this is a simple game, like very simplistic. So it makes sense that, you could play this a long time ago. And
you have a ring and you have a stake, and that's all you need. And you just start throwing it.
Yeah, simple. You don't need a lot of equipment.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go take a look at Quoits.
I'm back down. Yeah.
I don't believe that's our teams are it.
It's basically ancient Greek horseshoes.
It reminds me of a cross between horseshoes and bocce.
Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of old guys, they like to go there. They're having a beer. They're throwing rings around, playing quoits.
Yeah, they've been doing it for 50 years.
Would you try that one?
Yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah, I'd love to try.
Let's go to Greece and do it, Tommy.
Do it. Put it on the board. All right, number 10 is a pretty interesting discipline. I want to hear, Robbie, if you would like this or if you tried it. It's called 3-gun or multi-gun. It's a USA discipline, dynamic shooting sport that combines speed and accuracy, and you have to use all 3 disciplines: rifle, pistol, and shotgun. Competitors navigate courses, engaging various targets with each firearm, and transitioning between each weapon. The sport emphasizes both physical and mental fitness as competitors move through different stages, engaging targets at various distances and positions. Competitors use a modern sporting rifle, typically an AR platform, a pistol, and a shotgun. Stages involve moving through different positions and engaging targets, including clay pigeons, cardboard silhouettes, and steel targets. Matches are timed, and the competitor with the fastest time while hitting the most targets and avoiding penalties wins. While some local ranges may have variations, most follow the rules set by the International Multi-Gun Association or the United States Practical Shooting Association. And you can see the 3-Gun World Championship logo there on the right is held in different places all over the U.S. So what do you think about multi-gun? Have you tried it? Is this something you'd like to try, this type of competition?
Never tried it. I've fired all 3 weapons like that before, but never in a succession. So that would be a lot harder than you think, because the technique for each of those weapons is very different, and you are moving quickly from target to target and changing your weapon. That would be very difficult.
Which of these 3 do you think is the toughest to hit the target every time? Because essentially you'd have to practice that one the most, right?
Probably the shotgun.
Think the shotgun or the AR?
Probably the shotgun, not the AR. That's the easiest.
Okay.
Pistol is pretty easy, but a moving target is super hard. And when you're the moving target, you're moving with a pistol. It's very hard to hit a static. So it's I'd say the shotgun.
What I love about this one is, like, even that Quoits we just watched, or Petanque, or any of these ones, you notice in Petanque they had to stand within a little circle. And even in Quoits and others, you have to stand behind a line. And it's kind of stationary when you're doing the shot. This one is totally different. This one, you're moving around an obstacle course, and you're always moving the whole time.
Yeah,
so
that's cool.
it's really tough. It's not like you're just standing there and lining up a shot like in air rifle or something.
No, it would be hard, but it would be fun.
It gives it a really cool dynamic.
I think the hard part would be switching from weapon to weapon, because firing it, the weight of the weapon, the way it fires, the way you aim on that weapon, each one of these is very different.
They were saying these guys have to train, they have to jog, they have to bike, they have to really get in good shape, because the courses are fairly large. And so you got to be physically fit, mentally fit. You got to be a good shot.
Yeah, I agree. I think you would have to be physically and mentally fit to play this.
You think maybe ex-military guys would be good at this, maybe?
Yeah, because they're used to being under fire and being under physical duress while they're having to stay focused.
Mm-hmm. You see a picture there on the bottom left of one of the guys who was competing at the multi-gun championship in Boulder City, Nevada. So let's go take a look at this one. It's pretty cool.
All right. Shooter ready. Stand by.
still think the AR looks harder than the other two. I don't know. What do you think?
No way.
You think the pistol, when you're running around in a circle like that, is harder?
Yeah. It moves more. So it's a lot harder to put it on the target.
How cool would it be to be good at that discipline?
Well, I mean, that's what special ops guys, special operators excel at, being able to switch between weapons, be on the move, hit static targets, hit moving targets.
You'd have to just practice every weekend, I think.
It has to be kind of your vocation. Yeah.
To be that good at it. So would you try it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
They don't have that at your range, though, because it's all outdoors. You'd have to have an outdoor.
Well, it's not
area.
set up that way. The range is a static environment, very rigid. You have lanes,
Guys, drop us a comment. Would you try 3-gun or multi-gun? Would you like to try that discipline? I think it looks fun. All right, number 11 is Topgolf. This is one Rob suggested. It's not really a form of golf, but it's a really fun, popular tourist destination / great activity to do, and most cities have it. It utilizes giant colored targets of various sizes and distances to create a fun, high-tech golf game for all skill levels. These targets are embedded with microchips that track each shot, providing real-time feedback and scoring on the base screen. Topgolf uses system of colored targets, red, green, yellow, brown, and blue, and white to indicate different distances. And you can see there on the bottom right what it looks like with all the targets laid out. Distances vary, but red is the closest, usually 25 to 30 yards. White target's the furthest, usually 185 to 260. The closer a ball lands to the center of the target, the more points that are awarded. And points can also be multiplied based on distance or further targets offering higher multipliers. Topgolf also incorporates other features like fire rings and bonus opportunities within the outfield. Top Tracer technology, which is owned by Top Gun, tracks ball flight, providing data on distance, speed, angle, and accuracy, which enhances the gaming experience. So, Robbie, thoughts on Topgolf? You and I've played it together a bunch of times.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. I think first and foremost, it's fun. Second, you get that thrill a little bit of a lot of the target sports that we've shown you so far and in our other episode too. I will say that it's slightly different than golf in that I'm not a very good golfer at all. But I found myself relatively competent in this because aiming for targets was somehow different than hitting a ball 300 down a fairway. For me, I don't know, hitting it at a target, I felt a little bit closer to being able to do it because fairly consistently.
It's true.
So I enjoy Topgolf. I think it's different than just going out and playing around.
It's so much fun. I enjoyed it with you. I enjoyed it with my son, Ashton. I like that you can play different games on the computer. You can set up with different types of games, which is fun.
Exactly.
The food is excellent there. The service is great. It's just a great experience. Anything else about Topgolf? You think it's time to start taking your boys?
I think you're right. I think they've combined a really cool series of concepts. First of all, there's golf. Second of all, there's the target sports element. Third, there's a big social element to this. You'll always see co-workers, like team building events, stuff like that. You'll see people out on dates who aren't particularly athletic. You can play this fairly at a novice level and have fun.
Anyone can like Topgolf. Anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
and
see
then they
people-
add the social element of a bar and usually really good food. There's high level chefs involved in this thing. So it's a really cool concept.
I'm never going to forget you and I tried chicken and waffles for the first time at Topgolf. I don't know if you remember that, but that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And the only one we haven't tried yet is the Topgolf in Las Vegas. And so I'm thinking if we do get out there for your birthday next year, we got to go try the Topgolf there. I think it'd be fun.
That'd be fun, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, drop us a comment, guys, if you've tried Topgolf. Let's go take a quick look. Yeah, I want to go play now.
It's a lot of fun, yeah.
It's so much fun. You know what? You're right. It's team building. You can go for birthday parties. You can go on a date.
First date is fine. It's
You
not
can take your
awkward.
kids. Kids love it.
Yep.
I think your boys are going to start loving it pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's just a blast. It's a great concept.
Mm-hmm.
You can eat there, have a beer. A lot of fun. Guys, drop us a comment. Have you tried Topgolf? All right. This is one our personal family really enjoys, Robbie, and that's cornhole. We play it a lot on the beach, and we play it in our backyard, our beach house. Cornhole, also originally known as sack toss or bags, so it had a different name before. It's a long game popular in North America in which players or teams take turns throwing fabric bean bags at an inclined board with a hole in the far end. The goal of the game is to score points by either landing a bag on the board, which is 1 point, or putting the bag through the hole, which is 3 points. The game was developed, this is pretty wild, in Springfield, Massachusetts, which is also where basketball was.
Basketball, yeah.
So 2 sports there. I didn't know that. In 1962, it was actually put together in Springfield. In September 1974, this is pretty wild, 12 years later, Popular Mechanics magazine published an article written by Carolyn Farrell about a game called Beanbag Bullseye, and the game exploded in popularity in bars around the country, growing 500% in 20 years. The American Cornhole Association was established in 2005 by Frank Gears and is in Milford, Ohio. The ACO is on its website said it's the governing body of the sport of cornhole. There's also the American Cornhole League, ACL, which was founded in 2015 by Stacy Moore. And according to ACL, it promotes, develops cornhole as a sport on every level and creates software and apps to manage cornhole leagues. There's also in 2025, the American Cornhole League World Championships are taking place. This is pretty cool in Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is close to my house.
Yeah.
From July 28th to August 3rd. So it's going on right now.
Going on right now.
The event's being held at Rock Hill Sports and Event Center, and there's approximately 10,000 people expected to attend. And
Wow.
I noticed, Robbie, that cornhole is more and more on TV. When I'm flipping around,
Yeah,
I
me
see it
too.
all the time. So what do you think about the sport of cornhole, what it means to us, that it's become a pro sport now?
Well, on TV, it's pretty awesome. I mean, you can tell how good these guys are. They're drilling it every single time. It's definitely on ESPN quite frequently, and we have a blast playing it. I can tell why somebody would love this and want to get really good at it.
This is one of the sports you could want to get really good at and be a pro, or you could do just
Yeah.
like some of the other sports we talked about tonight with a beer in your hand.
Or just play at a barbecue, you know?
This or darts or bocce, have a beer in your hand, just having fun with your friends.
Yeah.
So this is cool. You don't need a lot of equipment. You need the 2 boards. You need the bean bags. And, we lug this game out onto the beach all the time. Matter of fact, we'll probably do it this weekend.
Yep.
Any other thoughts about cornhole, the
Well,
fun of
just-
playing it?
Little guys can get real good at it. Like you can be all ages, and it's a really fun pastime. Great activity to do with family.
We have a Pope Summer Olympics every summer, and this is always one of the key events, is the cornhole event.
Yeah.
Which we always have a really good time with. Let's go take a look at some of these great pros.
Give up 3 instead of 2, so that was the right call to concede that bag.
20-13. An 11-0 run. Nice shot by Jordan to go right through that. You've talked about it, Trey, with that V block. Really difficult. You have to go straight through with it. Mark lays another one.
Oh, can Mark Richards really go hard at this and push it out of the way? I don't know if he'll go for that type of shot. Oh. Uh-oh, Jeff.
Might be the #1 player, still gets nervous.
Okay, so Jordan Power came in on fire this morning. The fire's still in his belly, and that one missed by Mark Richards. It's 20-18.
16 straight points by Ruben and Power.
Oh my goodness.
Jeff, we thought this was over.
It was 4-2. Then it was 20-2. And honestly, not only is it a 2-point differential in the score, they're 3 points away from winning it.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, very possible with one mistake.
Man. Here's the thing with Lopez, though. If you go slick here, you can't miss left or right and go off the board.
Oh, my God.
Oh my gosh, he's got a chance to get 2 more here if he can keep it clean. Third bag for Ruben is in.
And now pretty much everything else has got to be in here by Lopez.
It misses.
Now, oh my goodness.
A chance for Jay Ruben to steal this.
Barring an unbelievable airmail drag, this is for the win in a World Doubles Championship.
Lopez still with the bag left. Ruben slides it in. And this could be it.
Philip Lopez has to go really high and drag this bag.
It's over.
What do you think of those guys?
Pretty good intensity, you know.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. It started to be a lot of fun to watch. You know, I didn't think it'd be a spectator sport, but it kind of is.
They were almost trash talking, you know.
What a comeback by that team.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. We practice a lot, but we'll never be that good, I don't think, where they hit it every single
We
time.
can't put in the time like that.
We've had times where we get on runs, though, where it's pretty darn good. Drop us a comment, guys. Do you guys play any cornhole with your family? All right, number 13. This is throwing stars. This was Rob's idea. In Japan, they call it Shuriken. It's a Japanese sport. It's the sport of throwing stars and refers to the practice of throwing shuriken, traditionally small star-shaped blades used in Japanese martial arts. While often associated with ninjas, shuriken are also employed by samurai and other warriors. They are used for various purposes, including distracting opponents, causing injury, or even delivering poison. The art of throwing shuriken is known as shuriken jutsu. Shuriken can be other shapes as well, like darts or blades, not just stars. While popular in ninja lore, shuriken were also used by samurai and other warriors. Shuriken can be thrown horizontally or vertically, depending on the desired range and target. Modern practice often focuses on skill and precision required for accurate throws rather than lethal intent. International competition involves throwing at targets from various distances with emphasis on rotation and accuracy. The World Championships in 2025 are going to be held in Singapore this year in September. You see some great pictures there, what the stars look like in some of the competitors. And you can see their shuriken board looks a lot like a dartboard.
It does look like a dartboard, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? Well, thoughts about this game? We've done it at the Renaissance Festival. It's a lot of fun.
Yep, I've thrown them at trees before. It's very difficult to be accurate, but ninjas are good at it.
The fact that this goes back to an ancient Japanese discipline makes it really cool if you think about it. Yeah, and when you watch these pros do it, it's just amazing how accurate they are. So, thoughts about this sport? Do you think it could get some more traction with other target
I don't know how
sports?
viable it is commercially, but it's pretty fun to do it, you know?
Is it kind of niche? I mean, I don't know. Would you really see this in bars or anything? I don't think so.
No.
It's kind of
Too
dangerous.
Too dangerous.
But you can do it at the Renaissance Festival. You can do it at places like that, along with throwing knives.
Yeah, you could do it anywhere you could throw axes or something.
What do you think it takes to get good at this? I guess just practice and...
Yeah, there's got to be technique and lots of practice time.
Imagine delivering poison this way.
Yeah.
Wow. That's one way to do it. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look. See, he threw, the first one was 1, then the second one was 2, and the third one was with 3. 3 at the same time.
I know. It's so crazy, that skill.
I'm trying to figure out if that's really the right technique to do it overhand like a baseball, or because I usually throw it kind of like a frisbee almost.
Like, I think sidearm. Yeah, sidearm.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I mean, he knows a lot better than we do.
Oh, yeah.
So, guys, drop us a line. Have you ever tried shooting stars or Shuriken? Tell us if you tried it. All right, our final one for the night. This is called Roque. It's from the USA. It's a American variant of croquet, and it's played on a hard, smooth surface. Popular in the first quarter of the 20th century and billed as the game of the century at that time by enthusiasts. It was an Olympic sport in the 1904 Summer Games, replacing croquet from the previous games. Roque is played on hard sand or clay, 30 by 60 foot, in a court bordered by a boundary wall. You can see on the bottom left there the boundary wall around the hard packed surface. Players use this wall to bank balls similar to how billiard balls would be played off cushions on a billiard table. The wickets, called arches, are permanently anchored on the court so they don't move around. Arches are narrow as in professional 6-wicket croquet. The court has 10 arches in 7 points configured in double diamond, so it makes it a lot more difficult with different angles. Using the rubber side of the mallet, Roque players apply spin to the ball to affect its movement, as in billiards. Like baseball, Roque is played in innings with 10 innings per game. The game is over once one side either stakes out, scoring essentially 32 points, or after 10 innings expire. You see some of the guys playing it down in Florida. Apparently it's a very popular game in Florida. Thoughts about this game, Roque, that kind of came out of the early 19th century?
Well, the court reminds me of a bocce court.
But bigger.
Bigger, but with the walls, and then you add the mallets and the croquet players, and it's a pretty cool blend of those two sports.
It's interesting to think about why this one didn't take off as much as some of the other ones we've covered tonight. When you would think that it is similar to bocce, it's similar to some of the other ones we looked at tonight, and it has a mallet. And, they're still playing it in Florida and other places, but it certainly hasn't taken off as much as they were expecting in 1904.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks fun. Let's try it.
Looks like a lot of fun. I'd love to try this game. Let's go take a look at Roque.
Finally, tonight, you've likely never heard of a game called Roque. It's even less likely you're familiar with a small town in western New York named Angelica. But together, they've created something magical, keeping a unique American tradition alive against the odds.
Every small town should have something like this, just because it's good for the community.
When you get to Angelica, it doesn't take long to find them playing, including Michael Burke.
Angelica has, we've got an amazing history, and we've got this game of Roque that we love to get people involved with.
Roque looks a bit like lawn croquet, but it's not. Jim Gallman first played as a boy in the 1950s.
The rules are not written down anyplace. I wrote up some back when we started the tournaments in the late 60s, early 70s. Can't even find those, but we kind of know what we're doing.
David Hagstrom plays too.
It's played with a short-handled mallet rather than your typical longer-handled croquet mallet, and the balls are a little bit different.
Day and night, the people of Angelica have been on this oval clay court for as long as anyone can remember. It was once billed as the game of the century, an Olympic sport in 1904. But now Angelica believes it's the only place left in the country still playing organized tournaments.
I can remember as a kid, almost every night you would have people up here playing because that was their entertainment. Now it's not so much that way. Now we play to keep it going.
This weekend, Angelica hosted its annual competition. Michael Burke lost in the semifinals, though he's still teaching his 11-year-old son, Ethan. For the sport that never became the next big thing, the next generation isn't too far away.
It's like other places, it's the crack of the bat. Here it's the clack of the ball in the court, and it's great. It sounds like summertime to me.
So, Robbie, what do you think of Roque?
I like it. I like it. I like how he said it sounds like summertime. It sort of takes him to a place where he's out there with his son and he has all his memories. It's pretty cool.
I like that the balls look a lot like bocce balls, and they sound a little bit
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah, it's like taking a bocce ball and combining it with croquet.
Very cool. I enjoyed that sport. I would definitely try that. Guys, drop us a comment tonight. Tell us which of these target sports, 14 we went through with you tonight, that you would try, you have tried. What are you looking forward to trying? And just drop us an overall comment. What is your favorite target sport? We'd love to hear it. So, Robbie, as we wrap up, man, we've been finding a lot of these great sports for people. Which of these 14 had you not heard of before?
Oh, let's see. Roque. Was it Roque?
Yep.
And not sure. There might have been one other one.
Petanque was one that I had heard, but I didn't know much about.
Petanque we've heard of. We talked about in our bocce episode. I've never heard of the one where the rifle, the shotgun, and the pistol.
The three gun, yeah.
Yeah. Most of the other ones I've heard of.
Yeah, that's an interesting discipline. I never heard of the rapid fire pistol. That was interesting.
Yeah. I remember that from the Olympics.
Yeah. Of course, I love curling. It's probably my favorite of all. Oh, and quoits. Yeah. I never heard of quoits.
Right.
Interesting concept there. So. Well, guys, thanks for joining us tonight on the Sports Guys. We're glad that you joined us for this part 2 of Target Sports. We love Target Sports. We do it a lot in our family. We're going to do some this weekend. We'll probably do a little bocce and a little bit of darts and maybe even a little bit of cornhole. So drop us a comment and please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're really excited about the growth of the channel, and it's all because of you guys. So thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. We had a good time putting this together, looking at a bunch of target sports and fishing out some old photos and reading through, each article and different sports are certainly what we're always searching for here at Sports Guys. We had a good time, and we hope you did too. Thanks for joining us, and go try some of these things. I mean, why not? They're fun.
We love bringing this content to you guys, and drop us a comment on maybe a sport we haven't thought about yet or haven't talked about. We'd love to bring it to the program. So next week we got college football preview, so be looking for that. We'll see you next time on the Sports Guys. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.